Hey guys, what is up? My name is Megan and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe, and welcome to my favorite video to film every month, and that is my TBR. We are once again playing TBR Book Hive, so let's hop on in. If you've never been to my channel before, this is what the Book Hive is. It is a big board game that you can see right here. The board game has 91 different prompts on it, and I play this game with two six-sided die. I move around the board and I pick my TBR that way. This is inspired by a lot of different TBR games, and if you want to see a full walkthrough of the board, I will leave my Book Hive playlist down below and in the cards for you as well. So I am just going to mention this now. There are timestamps down below if you want to go straight into the game, but I do have a little bit of admin and like things to talk about, such as read-a-thons. I'm participating in that before I go into the game, but if you're not interested, feel free to move along straight to when I start playing. So the month of March is always a heavy hitter month because a lot of things are happening. One, it's middle grade March. I've already posted my TBR for middle grade March. If you haven't seen it and want to see what I plan on reading for that, I will always put that somewhere. I am also going to be participating in Realmathon. I don't have a specific TBR set up for Realmathon. It's mostly going to be I'll use whatever books I have read on hand from this TBR and try to make it work. I am with Team Stingers and I just got my bookmarks that I picked from Realmathon. This is the Stingers bookmark. It is absolutely beautiful. So this is my team, but I also did go ahead and get the Monarchs bookmark because it's absolutely stunning, and butterflies are like my favorite thing on earth. I have a tattoo of it. I have a lot of butterflies. I have a butterfly necklace. So I thought I'd get it, even if my allegiance is to the Stingers. Realmathon is hosted by Covers with Cassidy. I will leave her channel down below as well. There's a Discord for it, a lot of different things. So those are the two read-a-thons I'm participating in. As always, I have all my read-alongs going starting this month. We also add the read-along for Nevermore, which I posted an announcement for a couple of videos ago. I'll leave all of the information for all of my read-alongs down below. The Discord links are always there. So that is pretty much what is happening. Now, March is also my birthday month. If you guys are new here, I am born on March 22nd. I will be 28 this month, which is kind of crazy, but it is my birthday month, so that is extremely exciting. And if not, I honestly have a lot of video projects coming. You guys can expect the next episode of Bookshelf Blitz. We're gonna have the first 40% episode, all of these things coming your way very soon. So without more blabber on my part, last thing I will say, there will be a 24 or 48 hour read-a-thon for the Trust tier of my membership. So if you guys are members of the Trust tier, there is going to be the quarterly read-a-thon happening. The announcement and all of that will be posted on my community post very soon for you guys, but that is the last thing I wanted to mention. Let's hop on in. Before I go into roll number one, I will say I haven't completed my entire February TBR. It was a very big one. This month was kind of all over the place, but I'm not giving myself a punishment because it is my birthday month. So yeah, moving along to roll number one. So last month, we last landed on Department of the Unexplained. I'm sorry if my dog comes into view. So we'll start from there. Let's go for number one. Ooh, double sixes. What? Not double sixes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Paper Cut Society, read a book club book. Roll number one brought us to Paper Cut Society, which is to read a book club book, and obviously that one will always be a useful prompt. For this, I'm going with Ice Apprentices by Jacob North. This is the first in a middle grade fantasy series. It is set in a cold setting, and it is my book club pick for a Sprinkle of Magic book club, which is my middle grade book club that I host every month. This is what we are reading for the month of March. This was a February release. It is a new release, and I'm extremely excited. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, but it's blurbed by A.F. Stedman. I've seen really good reviews for it, so I'm incredibly excited, and I really hope it does not let me down. So I will be having a book review go up for this in March, obviously, as it is a book club pick. So book one for the TBR. Glad it's something I needed to read. Let's go to roll number two. Let's go again. We got 5 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Department of Creature Control, dog pick. Roll number 2 brought us to Department of Creature Control, and for that I obviously had my dog Halloumi pick what I was going to read within 3 different choices of books. Obviously 2 of those books were from the same series, but I'm really glad with the outcome. My dog was very smart on this round and picked Come Back For Me by Rebecca Genshak. This is the 3rd book in the Holland Brothers series. I read Playbook in February for Bookshelf Blitz and I absolutely adored it. Rebecca is becoming like by far my favorite romance author. I love her books. This is her newest one in the series. It released not too long ago. This follows Archer, who is deaf, so there is ASL representation in here, as well as, what is the name of the girl? Can't remember, but it is a roommate's kind of forbidden romance because she is the sister of one of his like closest friends. I'm super excited. He plays football, she is a dancer, lots of things that I'm going to enjoy in here. And this I bought in February, so it is going to be part of my 40% vlog. Spoiler alert. So extra glad it's on the TBR this month. Moving on to roll number 3. Let's go again. So far, so good. Numbers wise, we get this, but there you go. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Black Parade, read a book featuring grief. Roll number 3 fell on Black Parade, which is to read a book featuring grief. Black Parade is part of Nevermore, and I thought, what better way to incorporate Nevermore than with a Nevermore prompt. I am going for Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. This is a book I am reading, as I mentioned, for a read-along that is starting in March in preparation for Silverborn, which is book 4 that releases June 24th, 2025. This is like an iconic middle grade series. I don't think I need to explain more. I will leave, as I said, the announcement video for this read-along down below if you want to join me, but this I plan on reading via audiobook. Moving on to roll number 4. So we get 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A book with a less than 4-star average. Oof, that one's gonna hurt. Roll number 4 ended up being a little bit scary because the prompt is to read a book with a less than 4-star average. And obviously that's kind of scary. And I had a hard time finding something I wanted to read because all the books I was looking at on my shelves had a higher than 4-star average, which is like a great problem to have. But then I remembered romance books exist, and The Wrong Mr. Right by Stephanie Archer actually has a 3.97 on Storygraph, so we're like very close to a 4. But it works for this prompt. The Wrong Mr. Right is book 2 in the Queen's Cove series, which is a like small town romance. Queen Cove is set in Canada. Stephanie Archer is a Canadian author. I read the first book, That Kind of Guy. Absolutely loved it. I had started this one, but I had to put it down. This is between a shy bookworm and a surfer. I was loving the vibes of this, so I think this is going to be a heavy hitter for me. I'm really excited to dive back into this one. Let's go on to the next roll. I'm sorry if you don't always see me move the book. The board is so big compared to my camera. And again with 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thistledown Academy, read a non-fiction book. The next prompt I fell on is Thistledown Academy, and that is to read a nonfiction book. And I'll be very honest, I put this on here because I want to force myself to read a little bit of nonfiction because I think there's so many topics I'm interested in, but I don't necessarily gravitate towards nonfiction super easily. And I don't know what I'm going to be reading because I don't own nonfiction, and so I think I'm going to let myself pick something out for my birthday. My plan for now is maybe to read Grief is Love, Living with Loss, but I'm open to any recommendations anybody may have in regards to books dealing with grief, any good memoirs, those kinds of things I'm really interested in. So let me know down below if you have any recommendations that you want me to pick up, and I'll see what I think of. But there's nothing down for this prompt, which is very unusual because usually I try to fit in books like don't have any prompts kind of left to mood read, but nonfiction is very much a different story, so I'm giving myself grace, and I'm going to wait on your recommendations, specifically if you have any books featuring grief. Like, it could be a memoir or just nonfiction in general. I would love to hear your recommendations. Let's move on to the next roll. Let's go for number 6, which is unironically 6, if that will focus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Book bingo board from hell. Roll number 6 fell on book bingo board from hell, which is to read basically any book that will advance me in my 2025 reading challenge. That is my book bingo board from hell. I'm going with the Read Brandon Sanderson square, and I am putting Mistborn, The Well of Ascension on my TBR. This is for my read along for Mistborn. The dates are going to change, by the way, because we are getting to discuss book 1 on March 3rd, I believe, because people needed more time, so I will be extending the reading periods for these books, most likely to give everybody 2 months to read each book, because I do realize that they are thicker books and like people have a life outside of reading. So this is most likely going to be like a March, like February and March book that we're going to discuss in April, but I will have an announcement set up for these and like the time changes and the date changes once I have that figured out, but it's still going on my TBR because I need to read it. So The Well of Ascension is book 2 in the Mistborn series. I am on my Brandon Sanderson journey. If you can imagine, I have a square dedicated to Brandon Sanderson on my bingo board, so obviously we're getting stuff done. But yeah, very excited. I've heard a lot of people say this is like 10 times better than Mistborn, The Final Empire, so I'm scared, but 100% excited for this. Let's move on to roll number 7. Let's go for number 7. We get 3. 1, 2, 3. Born on Evertide, you are cursed. Add an extra book. Oh, yay, not great. We fell on Born on Evertide curse, which is to add an extra book. So we're going back to roll number 7 again, but we're gonna finish this TBR with 9 books instead of 8 if everything goes well. So let's go back again. This board is not being so kind for my birthday month. Let's go again for number 7. We get 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alchemist, read a book featuring more than one genre. Our next roll number 7, we're doing this again, was Alchemist, to read a book featuring more than one genre. And for that, I am going with The Last Dragon on Mars by Scott Reddington. This is the first in a middle grade fantasy sci-fi series. So obviously it includes both those genres. It is essentially about dragons on Mars, the last dragon on Mars, so it's set on Mars, but there are dragons, and I think it's something I'm really going to enjoy. I hope it gives me those kind of like science fiction Skandar vibes. It's a weird way of describing it, and it's probably going to be a little different, but I have specific vibes in my head for this one. Not sure how I'm going to feel about these sci-fi elements because I'm not a big science fiction girly, but when it's mixed with dragons, I think anything can happen, and this being middle grade is probably going to be easier to digest. This is the first in the Dragon Ship series, which, what a beautiful series name. Let's go to roll number 8. Let's go for number 8. Ooh boy. This is the second time we fall on 11 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let me show you is read a pirate book. Roll number 8 fell on Department of the Undersea, which is to read a pirate book. And I put this on here because I keep saying time and time again, pirate books are some of my favorite books. I love pirate books, blah, 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 blah. But when it came to it, my TBR is pretty small when it comes to pirate books. like very, very small. I've read most of them. I think I have one book that is unread, but because it's my birthday month, I am allowing myself a reread of Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This was my favorite book of 2024, if you didn't know. Tress kind of changed my brain chemistry. I love this story, and thought, you know, it's probably the universe telling me that I should pick Tress up again. They have produced a audiobook that is full cast. I did not listen to a full cast audio the first time around, but I do think my plan is to get the full cast one for the second time, because I can't even imagine how even more I'm gonna fall in love with Tress. I think that my biggest birthday wish for this year, and it's not gonna happen, I know, because as I say time and time again, people don't buy me books, and the book I'm talking about is expensive, but like my wish for myself in March 2025 is to either get myself or have someone gift me the Dragonsteel edition of Tress of the Emerald Sea. I think about that book every single day. I want to display it on my shelf. I love the aesthetic of that book so much, and I want different versions of Tress of the Emerald Sea. But if you also want to read Tress with me, because I know some of you guys haven't read it and said that you were interested and want to buddy read it, we can make a group chat. I can make that happen. If you want to read Tress with me in March, let a girl know. If not, obviously I'm going to reread this by myself. But I would love to talk about Tress with someone who hasn't read it before and is reading it at the same time as me. So it's an open invitation to anyone who's interested, but what a great book to reread on my birthday month. Moving on to what should be our last roll. And what should hopefully be our last is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A Magpie, a comfort book. We have made it to the end with Magpie, which is to read a comfort book. I feel like we've fallen on Magpie every single time I play this game. It's absolutely insane. The placement of that prompt, I guess, could not be better. Magpie, as I said, is to read a comfort book, and for that I'm going with Percy Jackson number 3. Percy Jackson 3 is The Titan's Curse. It's going to be a reread, my last reread before I fall into the Percy Jackson books that I have not read before, which is crazy. But if you don't know, I am doing a year of reading Rick Riordan books, and I have read the 2 first books so far. I have a vlog for book 2 and plan on reading and vlogging my experience with book 3. I can't wait to get to book 4 and 5 in the upcoming months, but that is a required read, so I'm glad that I can put it on my TBR. I think most required reads are on here. That being said, I do have my middle grade March TBR and also other things like we need to pick a book from my TBR jar. I need a self-destruct book. I have other projects like that, so we need to pick a number for self-destruct, and we need TBR jar, and then we're done. We're going TBR jar first. Same rules will apply to this jar than it did in Bookshelf Blitz. If you haven't seen that episode, if I have like any seasonal reads or things like that, I'm putting it back. I am hoping for middle grade or romance this time around. This is romance. I can do romance. My dog is on my lap and it makes it so hard to... What is this? I'm excited for this. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this. It's like the TBR jar knew it's my birthday month and it had to be nice. We got Practice That Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams, which is the book 2 in the companion series for When in Rome. Book 3 came out January 2025. I've been dying to read that one, but this one also I think I'm going to love. It's just over 300 pages. I love the characters for this book. I'm so excited. I'm genuinely so excited, and I didn't want a super spicy book. I'm not in a mood for super spicy romances as of now, and Sarah Adams is very much a closed door. Most of the time, I think sometimes she now incorporates like 1 or 2 steamy scenes, but I just love her storytelling. I love When in Rome. I love the cheat sheet. She is an iconic author. This could not have went better. Yay! last thing we need to do is a random number generator between 1 and 12 for my self-destruct. We're going to ask Alexa. I'm sorry if yours goes off. Let's go. Alexa, pick a number between 1 and 12.
Here's a number between 1 and 12. It's 1.
We're going to have 1, 2, and 3, I think, out of the way, or 1, 2, and 4, something like that. That is crazy. Let me go get book 1. This is book number 1. It's very small, but it's here, and it is hardcover, which means this is either Peregrine Quinn or that thriller book. I am hopeful and praying that this is Peregrine Quinn, because Peregrine Quinn 2 comes out, I think, in April as well. And my goal was really to have that read in preparation for book 2. So if the I can't talk. If the book gods are on my side, this is what we're reading. If not, it's a thriller. We'll see how that goes. But again, I will not unwrap this here. I will unwrap it during Self-Destruct episode 3, which will be coming out in March. So yeah, let me gather up my TBR and kind of show you guys what is happening. This is my March TBR and includes none of the books I'm reading for middle grade March, and it also does not include Percy Jackson 3 that I don't own physically yet, nor do I own the audiobook, so I need to get that in the month of March. And it also doesn't include most of the books I am reading for the 40% challenge, so wish me luck. I will probably be hosting some live reading sprints to help me along, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to see my thoughts on these, my thoughts of the books for middle grade March, and how I do for Realmathon as well, because hopefully some of these books help out my team. Let's go Stingers. I don't know what that was. So yeah, I'll see you again very soon with another video. If you've made it this far, leave me a aquatic animal, anything that lives in a sea. It could be a fish, an octopus, whatever. And I'll see you soon with another video. Bye guys, happy reading.